Hi, I'm Ben Sand. I'm the entrepreneur in residence at Muru-D, which means I'm the head coach to a group of startups. And I'm here to tell you how to deliver a really great pitch. I've seen more than 1,000 people pitch their ideas and companies over the last few years. I've seen them pitch in Australia and in the US. And I want to use what I've learned watching those pitches and on giving them myself to show you how to make a really effective pitch of what you're working on. There are two main ways you can deliver a pitch. One is the classic style that you will have seen many times before, where you touch on key points of a company or a project. The team, the idea, the problem, the solution, something around the financials and market size. The second is where you emphasize a lot of emotion. You still may include some of these key points, but you're really structuring the delivery around the emotional reaction of the audience. So to start with, the first kind of pitch is the standard investor pitch that you would have seen several times before. And a great place to find a template for this is the world's leading venture capital firm, Sequoia. They have a really great template called the Sequoia Business Plan Template, and they'll cover about 10 different pieces of the company. I recommend you go there, check out that template, and have a look what points they'd like you to cover. And you should be able to touch on each of those inside a 3-minute pitch, if that's the format you're giving. One of the changes that I recommend that you won't see on every example of how to give these kind of pitches is one that comes from Mark Suster, who's a wonderful venture capitalist in Los Angeles who heads up a $1 billion venture fund. And he recommends to lead very early on with your team. Why you have the credibility. Why should someone actually listen to you if you're pitching an idea? Because when people hear thousands of pitches, they've heard the idea many, many times before. And what makes it different is the belief that you actually have what it takes to pull this thing off. So if you're going with the standard pitch formula, I do recommend covering all those topics, but please include who you are at the very start. This will give us a chance to actually decide, if you're the kind of people that we want to sort of hear more from and actually open our minds up to hearing the rest of what you have to say. For the second kind of pitch, where you have a lot of emotion, there's a few different things you can do. The main goal is to make sure that you deliver a very high emotional impact at the start. This could be around the kind of people that you are, it could be around something you've achieved, or it could be around what you're working on if it's a really important thing, maybe in the medical field. The phases that you'll have if you're giving the emotional pitch there'll be 3 phases for the presentation. The first phase is what I call recruitment. It's getting everyone in the room to actually listen to what you're saying, come on side, and want to be part of what you're doing. Once you've reached that emotional threshold, the second phase is to actually explain to people what this is that we're actually talking about. Here's where you can layer in some of the detail. You've opened people's minds up and they're now ready to receive some information for you. So give them a few little tidbits of information. Don't architect out the entire deal with every single detail, but just a few little pieces that they can go and share with other people. And then finally, the last stage is to actually inspire people. So now that they've been recruited and informed, you actually want them to go out and do this thing, right? Here's what we can do together. Come out and build this amazing future with us. When you go to your board, here's what you can tell them. When you go and speak to your friends, here's what to say. When you go to other people who are working on this project, come and be part of this. Right? These are the kind of things that you'll be saying in the third phase of your talk. And oftentimes people just clip that to one little slide of, hey, if you like what we're doing, come and say hi. And that's better than doing nothing at all, but there's a lot more opportunity to really engage people and inspire them to come and work with you. So now that you've heard the 2 main styles of pitch, I'd encourage you to have a look at some examples of these and see which one works for you. One other great way to get some inspiration around how you can actually pitch effectively is to go and watch a few TED Talks and find somebody who you feel has a style that you would like to develop inside yourself. And with that style and with the choice of presentation, you'll be in a good position to deliver your idea effectively in an inspiring way and get people to come with you on the journey of taking this idea that you've built, this project that you're working on, into a reality. People ask me what the most important thing about pitching is, and it's to change the behavior of the people you're giving the pitch to. That means making them emotionally engaged with what you're doing and having information they can use to go and do something with that engagement. Y Combinator describes this as formidable founders. What they're looking for is the kind of person who just stands out so starkly that everyone just has to pay attention. The way I personally describe this is there's all these different things that you might think about when you're considering working with someone or their company or their idea, but I have to imagine that if I were a competitor to what's being pitched, that I would be nervous. That's the feeling that I want you to put in the audience, that you are very serious and that you are the most credible group of people in this space. The most important thing to remember when you're working on this is that being able to share an idea with other people is one of the most critical skills that you will develop throughout your life. Whether you're sharing it as part of a competition, whether you're trying to inspire your team or investors, or to get a job somewhere, if you can sum up an idea in a very clear and concise way, if you can do it with confidence and conviction, and you can inspire other people, that will be a critical life skill that will serve you in anything you do going forward.